was originally planning to make a video on Black Pill, and I promise you that it's still coming, probably. But all of a sudden, I got inspired to talk about TV shows, main characters, and human nature. Very intellectual, thank you. This idea came to me mainly because of a C-drama that I finished actually, but in the script I wrote, I've started recently. Yeah, it's been a month, and this script was sitting in my drafts for a month, maybe more. So, either way, the C-drama is called How Dare You? And basically it's a C-drama about two people from a real world that got transported to a transmigration novel. They were supposed to be the villains, but they're trying to build themselves up and survive in the Forbidden City, all while being somewhat controlled by the plot, as well as having to tell what characters are real and what are fake, and eventually come to a realization that there is no difference, they're all the same, and then have an existential crisis. And that sums it up. Yeah, this is my summary of like less than 8 episodes, so bear with me. So far, hands down, the most entertaining show I've ever watched, and I highly recommend. Not sponsored, by the way. And guys, as a person that already finished the show, I still recommend it. It's so good. I want to rewatch it. It's just that it's the exam season, so I guess I'll have to put it off, as always. Anyway, the video isn't really about the show, and just the idea that the show passed on to me. How do we decide who the evil person is and who is really the main character? Okay, actually, we are turning back to the show. So basically there's this Prince Tuan. And he's like the evil prince, technically. The drama shows him as evil when our main leads are transported into the novel, even though according to the original novel's storyline, Prince Tuan was actually the male lead. Another ruler is his brother, Emperor Dan.
How are you?
He's one of the two people that were transported, and in the C-drama so far, he's the male lead, though I think it's obvious looking at the posters. Dan and Duan are genuinely parallel to each other, especially acting as a mad ruler, killing people in the way. Whether they are honest or following a plan does not concern me. Right now, what concerns me is that the same act is being performed by both sides. And while one is shown in a way that the viewers could empathize with, the other side is shown as despicable and rage-inducing, even though it is genuinely the same exact thing. Why does one person get away with killing people, going so far as being praised by the drama, while the other gets shamed? Why aren't both characters up to the same standards? It's genuinely just bias and nothing else. It's a matter of perspective. Though, when was it ever okay to kill people? Unsurprisingly enough, I would apply the halo effect in this case. The halo effect, and let me cite Psychology Today, because I don't want to take credit for the words that aren't mine. So the halo effect is a cognitive bias that occurs when an initial positive judgment about a person unconsciously colors the perception of the individual as a whole. I am still talking about the show, but it works for any piece of media you consume. Dan was introduced as a safe character. We acquainted ourselves with Dan in the very first episode. We're shown the very best features of Dan. He's attractive and well-spoken, a CEO in real life. A whole emperor in the novel. Also guys, what I'm saying here is genuinely based on 8 episodes. Everything that happens later, I'm aware now. I wasn't aware back then. Very good show. Might not be the best for what I'm saying, but a very good show. So Dan is well-spoken, a CEO in real life, and a whole emperor in a novel. Also, we're given a sob story about him losing power and everyone turning against him, even though technically he wasn't even there. He was. You get the point. The first impression matters. Since the first impression we received of Dan was so positive, there wasn't much work needed to frame Prince Duan as a scheming evil rival. Any opposition of a positive character automatically turns negative. What I am wondering about, though, is what would happen if Prince Duan would get more screen time? What if his perspective was shown? What if he became the main character? Would I suddenly like both characters? None? Only Prince Duan? Did you guys know that characters that appear and disappear just as quickly have a name for them? No? Me either. But according to the Cambridge Dictionary, a red shirt is a slang for an unimportant character in a film, book, etc., who appears briefly and then dies. But that red shirt character left an impact on me. His backstory was barely explored, only some future goals were set. But I created a connection and then they killed him off. Of course. Because what else would you do? But my point is, I would gladly watch a story about that character, all of the failed imperial exams, about writing poems. A slight change in a perspective, or more so just framing the character as inherently human, made the character a lot more important in my eyes. It may have also been the halo effect, as I didn't get to see the character's flaws, so now everything about him is nice in my head. And that once again made me wonder, what is it that makes the main character a main character? Why do people till this day strive to become a main character, a mere human creation in literature and movies? When you think about it, everyone is a main character. It's just a person that the story revolves around after all. They don't have to be inherently good. They don't have to be anything, to be fair. Whoever the story revolves around is worthy of main character title. What I find strange is that in our culture, there is a heavy emphasis on being the main character. I mean, technically we all are, so what's the problem? If everyone is being targeted with the same lifestyle that is going to make them the main character, the it girl, whatever the hell else they want to call it, what is truly required of the main character, and why do we want to be them? Going back to my trusted C-drama, which I made a point not to make the video revolve around, the main characters display the same values as the side characters do. It's just that we are more connected to them. More so, what about the movies that solely focus on evil people? Are they any less of a main character? I would argue that no. If anything, being able to build that human connection with a villain more so proves that they're a main character. But this also shows that the main character isn't necessarily the one that the story revolves around. It's a character that the viewers can make a connection with. So, as you may have already guessed, I think that the similar concept applies in the real world too. People crave attention, love, care. I mean, that's the sole reason people shop in high brands, post on social media. In some cases, people dress up and maintain hygiene in order to receive attention from others, so that others like them, to make a connection. I think that there's a mental note in our head that the main character is the one that receives the love and attention, hence we strive to be that main character. We hope to stand out, to be better, because others will notice. But when everyone is following the same path to become that main character, they accidentally become the same. And so I was wondering, what do people really strive for? Is it to stand out or to be the same? The conclusion I came to is that nobody cares. Stand out or not, everyone wants the same: love and attention. Be it from people or cats or dogs or whatever the hell else you want. In the end, everyone wants attention, and the main character is the one that receives all of it.